Cheers everybody, welcome back to another beer review. Now, I never thought I would be doing another beer from this brewery this year because the ones I had were absolute bloody stinkers. So, I saw it, I saw this, I saw this in a bottle shop and I thought to myself, why the hell would a bottle shop have this lot in? And I thought to myself, I was debating whether to get this or not. And I thought, is this the last chance saloon for me and Tiny Rebel? Is this beer gonna be the last hurrah? If this beer isn't any good or remotely drinkable or has any worth, is this my last Tiny Rebel beer? This isn't available, as far as I know, in supermarkets. So I thought, let's go out on a whim and give them a chance. If they can't do this properly, then that's it, really, isn't it? We have got a hazelnut stout, and we've got a can of the Hazelnutcracker. This is a 5.8% hazelnut stout. There's the backside. It's not available in supermarkets at the moment. I can imagine them bringing this out next year in supermarkets. So I thought to myself, well, they're famous for their adjuncts in beers, and to be honest with you, adjuncts should be used, for me, they should be used in a certain way. I mean, there's a lot of, for me, I think this lot have used adjuncts to hide bad brewing at times when, it doesn't even work either. When I overladen a beer with adjuncts, it just turns it into something else. It doesn't really doesn't really add to the beer drinking experience. It actually destroys the beer drinking experience. So for me to actually get this from a bottle shop is a brave thing to do. So let's just crack it open and see what we get with it, because I'm intrigued. I got sucked in. Am I going to make a mistake? First of all, from the ring, chocolate and hazelnut, it actually smells pretty good. And for me, it smells pretty good, and it's just reignited a flame in me for another rant about something, which I might do at the end of this video. It smells pretty good. Chocolate, hazelnut, yeah. Let's just pour it in, and we'll see what we get with it. It's pouring very well. It's got an off-white head. Like I say, it was bought from a bottle shop. Stick that there. Put it up to the light. Is it jet black? It is jet black. That is jet black. Off-white. Mocha head. Yeah, absolutely. It's jet black. There is no shadow through that beer at all. Now, I've had beers from this lot which are stronger from a supermarket. Put it up to light. You can see through it. So it's an off-white head. Let's get a whiff. Hazelnut, chocolate, hint of coffee. It smells not bad. It smells pretty decent. So I'm going to go in. Cheers, everybody. This lot are taking the piss. I'll tell you what. This lot are taking you all for a fucking ride. They are. They're taking you all for a fucking ride with all mugs. They are taking you for a ride. Because that isn't bad. That ain't bad at all. And you think to yourself, you're taking people for a ride. You go to a supermarket. First, I've got to have a rant first before I give you the flavours. You go to the supermarket, you got the Tiny Rebels. In all the supermarkets, well, near enough all the supermarkets, the beer seems to be substandard. And the reason why the beer is substandard is because it's what they're getting from the supermarket. What are the supermarket giving Tiny Rebel? Okay? They want it for fuck all, the supermarkets. They want it for nothing. Okay? But if you're Tiny Rebel, you want to get your name out there. It's a great idea. Joe Public in the supermarkets are not. I'm not going to. At the end of the day, if Joe Public who go into the supermarkets who buy beer, what is the probability of the amount of people buy beer in supermarkets know their beer? What's the probability of somebody knowing their stuff, going into supermarkets, buying beer? And it's not that high. I don't think it's that high. I don't think it's that high at all. And of course, they get the stuff out there on the supermarket shelf. They've got big Tiny Rebel. They've got the whack when it comes to advertising. I've said in the past, Tiny Rebel are very, very good at their advertising. They're brilliant, in fact. They've got a niche there and it attracts the younger drinker and everything. So they're very, very good at that. But the beer seems to be pretty shit. Okay? And it is. And it's all down to economics. It's all down to what they're getting from the supermarkets. And they need to brew a beer to still make money on it, right? But the brewing process has to be cheap. Has to be cheap, They need to make money. It's a company. They need to make money. So that is their way of doing it. But then I've picked this up from a bottle shop. Went out on a limb. Thinking, well, give it a go. And it actually tastes all right. It actually is quite a nice beer. I didn't pay too much for it. I think it's about £4 or £5 a can. Not too much for a Tiny Rebel, but it actually tastes all right. It's jet black from the light. There's no shadow through it. It actually looks like a proper stout. Because you go in, you pick up hazelnuts, chocolate, slight hint of coffee bitterness. The mouthfeel is okay. It's to be honest, it's very generic. The body of the beer, there's nice flavours there. It's slightly light. We're talking about a 5.8% beer. It's quite light for a 5.8% beer, but there's plenty of flavour, plenty of stuff going on. Again. It's light and it actually tastes great. It really does. It tastes okay. It's an okay beer. You could be forgiven. It could be slightly thin. Yeah, it is slightly thin, but the taste notes are there. Is this, a good effort? I would say it's a good effort. It's not a brilliant effort, but it's a good, good foot in the right direction. And you think yourself, when you look at this, this brewery, the people buying this stuff from the supermarket, you've been taken for a ride. This lot are more than capable of brewing brilliant stuff. They've got the facilities. They most probably have the know-how, and they've definitely got the whack regarding advertising. They could floor everybody, but they don't. And I suppose you can say Northern Monk and Brewdog in the same way. That for me, boys and girls, the Hazelnutcracker from Tiny Rebel is okay. It cost me about $4.50, I remember now, a can. That's about as much as I'll pay for it. But I tell you what, it's half decent. It's half decent. I can only be truthful. It's not terrible, but it's not brilliant. See you on my next one. Beep beep. Would I buy again? No. Beep beep.